Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. It's Sunday night, so we have orders that got to go out that came in on the weekend, and kind of want to show you guys some of the packaging and what I do. I see a lot of people, a lot of people post things about what they're buying. Some people post, about their inventory system, what they have here. I don't ever really see people doing anything like shipping wise. I know I watch one person who they do their shipping, but you got to be a member in order to see how her shipping process or whatever. But just kind of want to show you guys how I ship items out and get things to customers. So let me just adjust the camera a little bit, right down a little bit. What we're going to do is first off, we sold a mug, Starbucks Singapore You Are Here mug, and like I said in the past, these mugs definitely want to keep your eye out for, but you got to look them up. You don't know, I don't even really know which ones are valuable, which ones aren't. This one we picked up, probably got it for $2 to $4 or so, and sold for $22. So nice little pickup. Nice Starbucks mug that's still worth over $20. It's Singapore. There were some other Singapore ones, and I guess the one you want to look out for is the one with the orchid. This is going to go in a 6x6x6 box. This is going to get wrapped like so. This stuff, some of this stuff I was listing today, but the hat's sold. And so here we go. We're just going to wrap. First thing what I do is I start with the handle. Just get a little fold over it. Now, I did recently have a mug break on me. So sometimes, no matter how well you pack something, it doesn't make it safe. So now what I would normally do was I'd package this up because it's a shorter mug. I would cut some of the bubble wrap off, but I'm not going to do that in this case. I'm going to leave the excess bubble wrap just because that break is still fresh in my mind, and I don't want this mug to break. So flip it over. So as you can see, first I wrapped the handle, and the handle is probably one of the more fragile parts of the mug. So wrap it once. That's actually going to get wrapped in extra time other than beyond the rest of the mug. Okay, one more fold. We're going to end at that handle one more time. Yes, I know it looks like a lot of bubble wrap, and it probably is an excess of bubble wrap. But you want to make sure you're responsible for getting your items to your customers safely, and if you don't, you got to refund them. If it gets broken in shipping, that is on you, the seller. So eBay may step in, and that could be a defect on your account, which you do not want. Now, take into consideration your shipping costs. My bubble wrap, I get it for a great price, so I don't really have to worry. I still have to worry about the cost of it, but I don't have to worry about I've already been doing this for a while now, so yeah, I kind of already know that, the cost of that and how much I sold it for. I know how much this cost me, the bubble wrap, and the box I'm about to put it in right now. So then when we fold in the sides, this is going to provide an extra layer up and down for the mug, 1 and 2. This mug should be, I think I put 2 pounds for the shipping. It should be 2 pounds, because generally it's about 2 pounds for mugs. Okay. There we go. So as you can see, it created an extra padding here, extra padding here. This only has 4 layers of bubble wrap, but I'm not so concerned about that side. I am concerned about the handle, which got an extra wrap because I folded the first little bit of bubble wrap over that. So I did get an extra 2 layers. And so I'm going to set this down in the box next, which is a 6x6x6 box. Most mugs will go in one of these, 6x6x6. Pretty common size, and I already used it to box up a Pokemon thing, so Burger King Pokemon ball. So these are very versatile and good size to have on hand. And I always keep them in stock just in case. So boom, boom. Now that box folded in, we're gonna have 2 layers of cardboard because of the arms here. Get our thing going. Should be 2 pounds. We're gonna put that right there. And what I like to do one more step is just put 2 pieces of padding here, just so it doesn't bounce around and shipping like that. You want to try to keep it as stable as possible. So we should be, see, just under 2 pounds. It's going to be 2 pounds. I mean, I have to round up 2 pounds no matter what. So I'm going to throw the extra padding in there just because. And where's that? Let me grab some of that really quick. Should be over here. Boom. No, that's not it. Okay, here we go. Okay, got the extra padding right here. Let's tear this off a little bit. That half. All that together there. Just a nice little ball. Create just some. Put that right there. There we go. Now that isn't really moving anywhere. Plus, I'm going to fold the edges down. That's going to create more rigidity inside, so it doesn't bounce around and move. So now there's 2 layers of cardboard on top, 2 layers of cardboard on bottom. It has the extra padding coming from the bubble wrap to help cushion it, and it should survive the trip to. I'll have to look that up right now. Should survive. Let me see. This is going. Where's this guy going? Obviously, I'm not going to show it on camera, but this should survive a trip to Houston, Texas. There we go, Houston, Texas. So should still weigh right under 2 pounds. We have to round up to 2 pounds. If you put in the like 1 pound and 5.9 ounces, put that in there. The cost is going to be the same as if it was 2 pounds. So, every time you go over a pound, no matter if it's, 0.5 ounces, point whatever ounces, you have to round up to the next pound. So, all right, so I'm going to get a label for that. This is going to go parcel select, ground shipping, so that should be nice and safe and should get to its customer, hopefully in a few days. So that's how you do a mug. Now, when it comes to hats, a couple ways you can do it, and all depends on the hat. If it's a floppy hat, or a hat that is that doesn't have this kind of structure, see, it's kind of a nice. This is a nice structured hat. Generally, all your new era hats will be like this, nice and structured. You want to put this in a box, so that way it maintains that structure in transit. Otherwise, it could get disfigured, and you could potentially have a upset customer because if their hat ends up punched, disfigured, some people don't like that. So some people want that to keep that shape. You can reshape these in the, we can wash them in the dishwasher. I've done washing them in the dishwasher and with a, obviously with a hat cage, and then been able to reshape them from there. But you could steam it. There's a way to steam it, but if it's a floppy hat without any structure in the cap part or the upper part of the hat, yeah, you could put it inside a poly mailer. Usually I'll put it just in a bubble mailer and send it on its way, like a running hat or something, or a lot of Patagonia hats are like that. But one like this, like a new era baseball cap, I'm going to put it inside one of these boxes. This is a 975 from Uline. Fits the hat perfectly like that. And no padding or anything needed. Obviously, this is not a breakable item, so I'm not super worried about that. And it comes out to just 7.6 ounces, so you're rounding up to 8 ounces on that one there. So it should be right about $5. I think it's like about $5 or $5.50 for shipping. So, and again, the buyer pays shipping on all my items. I don't do free shipping on anything. So, buyer picks that up. So not my, so I don't have to worry about that. Okay, t-shirts, shirts, clothing, some of the most easiest things to do here. First and foremost, you want to make sure you have a good supply of poly bags. You don't need bubble mailers for clothing. Sometimes I will use the bubble mailer from the USPS Priority, like for jeans or some sweaters, like extra large. Sometimes 2XL sweaters are kind of too big, and just because to get the shipping cost down. Because if something goes over 2 pounds, then then they're going to be paying over $10 shipping for a pair of jeans or a sweater. So if I can get it into a poly mailer, if it's over a pound, I'm sorry, if I can get it into a USPS bubble mailer, priority bubble mailer, then I will if it's over a pound. Sometimes you just can't help it. Sometimes like oversized sweaters, you have no choice but to send them through the more expensive shipping plan, usually partial select, but things are changing, so we'll see what that'll be. But clothing is really easy. Just get yourself poly mailers. This is a I forget what size that is, but that is, what is that, about 12? It's about 13, 14 inches or so, by about 20, about 10 inches. So it's a good size for t-shirts and leggings, things like that. And then I have the bigger ones, the bigger sizes for oversized stuff, jeans, oversized sweaters. So the poly bags are pretty inexpensive. You can get them pretty cheaply on Amazon. I get mine from Uline just because I order all my supplies from Uline. It comes out to be a little bit cheaper than Amazon when I'm ordering these. But always, this was a Calvin Klein t-shirt. What did I sell that for? It's just a Calvin Klein pocket t-shirt. You can see it has Calvin Klein right there. But this went for $14, and t-shirts like this, this short sleeve, usually I get for around $3 a shirt. And I did comp it out, so I was like, all right, it goes for a little over $20, but I accepted an offer on that. So that comes out to 7.1 ounces. So we're going to be rounding up to 8 ounces on that t-shirt, and that will go out in the mail. And clothing, really the only thing you have to worry about clothing is if it doesn't fit the person when they get it, and then they end up returning it. But as far as the shipping process, nothing's going to happen to that in shipping. I shouldn't say nothing's going to happen to it, because there could be something where it gets hung up and ripped open and torn, but always keep in mind the cost of shipping when you're buying something. The most important thing in reselling and being a retailer, any type of selling anything, is how much your cost of goods are. So cost of goods are going to determine if you can even sell that item, because when you go on eBay and you look up shirts, maybe Calvin Klein t-shirts, or I have a tiki mug here, you look up tiki mugs, you're going on there to see what it's recently sold for. When you look at eBay through the app, when you're out and about, you get about 3 months. You get 3 months of history on that item, and if it's sold within 3 months, there's a good chance it'll sell for you too if you buy it. Now, usually prices are kind of all over the place. I mean, not like crazy swings in prices, like not $10, $20, $100, and then back down. It definitely that can cause some confusion when you're buying the item. And generally, if something has huge fluctuations in it, I would stay away from it, because you really don't know. It's a hard gauge. It's really hard to gauge what that item ultimately will sell for. So when you're looking up items, you'll look for things that are kind of within about a $10, $5 to $10 range. Like something sells for $30 to $35 to $40. That's a good range, and it can kind of help you really determine ultimately what your item's going to go for. The other thing too is, don't get so hung up on what you think that item is worth. You may see a sold comp for a t-shirt, or this old smartwatch. You may see a sold comp for $100. I saw it sold for $100. Maybe there's other ones like 80, 90, 120, but you're gonna be like, it's $100, and I'm gonna wait for $100 offer, or I'm just gonna put it out there and wait for somebody to buy it for $100. Well, what if that person doesn't show up? You know, what if it takes a month, 2 months? Can you wait that long? You know, I don't know anybody's situation, but me, I want to get things moving. I want my store to be move. I want to move product. I want to get things in, get them out, get them in, get them out, and hopefully get things out that make me money and profit. So usually, what I do, I'm in the store. I'm trying to buy things as low as possible, because I'm already thinking, what kind of a deal can I offer someone looking at my items on eBay. I have offers turned on almost all my items, and usually because I buy things so low, I can make good offers to people, and I can allow something like somebody to get it for a really good price where I'm still making money and the customer's happy. If I got this t-shirt for, this sold for 14, if I bought this for maybe $6 or $7, that would, in my opinion, that would not be a good buy. First of all, my profit margin would be really low, and then, if someone shot me an offer for, someone, I think I had it listed for about $20 or $22. Oh, there's little gnats everywhere. If someone shot me an offer for $10, I wouldn't be able to take that offer. What if my store has no sales on the day and I want to get a sale? I want to get something. If it was $10, my buy cost was $6. What is my profit? It'd be $1. I spent all that time looking for something, and I found a shirt and I only make $1 on it. Sometimes you do have to break even though, but I want to make as most profit as I can on each item. So keep your buy cost low so you can offer deals. Don't get hung up on what you think the item is worth. Ultimately, what the item is worth is what someone is willing to pay for that item when they're looking at it. If you're selling eBay, Poshmark, wherever, if they're looking at it on your store, what's going to convince them to make that purchase? That's what I'm constantly thinking, like, what am I going to do? Is it good pictures? Is it having best offer open so someone can just shoot me an offer right off the bat? Maybe they don't, maybe they want the item, but, they can't pay the $100 I have it listed at, but they can do 90 or they can do 80. My buy cost in it was, hopefully around $5 to $10 if I'm offering it for that high. And, I can give them that offer, or I can accept their offer and still make profit, and my store moves some inventory, and I'm able to get that money and go buy other stuff to help move my store along. So I hope it kind of makes sense to everybody, because I do hear a lot, this is what it's worth and this is what I'm going to try to sell it for. It's, when you're looking up comps, you're just trying to get an idea of what something is worth. It's not necessarily what the item is worth, because the item you have in your hand hasn't even sold yet. You can have something that maybe you have it, like right here, like a tiki mug, and maybe there's a, like, you can't get that $1.99. That's really annoying when they do Sharpie like that, but you can't get that $1.99 out. So obviously someone else that has a more cleaner version may go ahead of yours. So that could knock your item down, a few bucks. So don't get so hung up on when you see something, when you're comping something, don't get so hung up on what, on, let's say, most people pick the highest dollar amount, that went for $100. I'm going to hold out and try to get $100 for that item. You might not. That might sit forever. So don't get so hung up on what things are worth. It's only worth something if someone's willing to pay for it. It's only worth what someone pays for it. So someone says, I want to get that for $20. Maybe it's been sitting in your store for 1 to 2 months. I mean, that's the other thing too, is generally, if someone's sending me kind of lowball, in my opinion, lowball offers on something within 3 days of me posting it, I will generally reject it. And but if it's been over 3 days, then usually, you can tell what lowball offers are and what legitimate offers are. You know, you'll, as you get the hang of it, as you start moving stuff, you will you'll see those people who are just lowballers, and you'll see those people who generally want the item and are making their best offer that they possibly can. So those are the people I'm looking for. Those are the people I want to sell to. Not lowballers, and I don't want items just sitting in my store either. So I hope that came through clear. I'm gonna get a label for that, and for that shirt, and we'll get that one moving, and we'll see what else we got to pack up here. Another thing that I really like to sell that's easy to ship is jewelry, and this is a vintage magnetic, as you can see, stretchy band bracelet. This ended up selling for $10. I got it for like 50 or 25 cents. Got it in a bundle with a bunch of other jewelry pieces. And when it comes to jewelry, I would definitely... Jewelry's hard. It's not an easy... It's not easy category, because there's a lot of designers. Some jewelry's worth more than others. I have some jewelry here that looks just like, I mean, I'll go over in more detail in the video regarding this jewelry here, but some of it just looks like costume jewelry. But there's a piece in there that's worth, you know, that has sold for over, retail sells for over $1,400. I mean, it's not gold or anything, but it's the designer. So it's a very tough category to really jump into, but if you get it for a low enough price, this is my recommendation for jewelry, is buy it in bulk. This I got in a bulk deal with some watches and some other bracelets, so my cost in this is maybe like 25-50 cents. But the Goodwills in my area, they do like bulk, like large bags of jewelry, usually for about $50 to $75. And I've gotten some good stuff out of there. And most recently, I think I might have talked about this, but I got some what's called bobble bear earrings. Big old lot of those. I'm telling you, I literally go all day with no interruptions, and then it's still, I guess, early evening. I really gotta wait till the night, till night to start doing stuff that I gotta get done. But interruptions just come pouring in left and right. I don't know about you guys out there, but constant interruptions. But like I was saying, jewelry, I recommend, if you want to get into jewelry, I recommend buying in bulk, like at the Goodwills or even at flea markets. Usually you get a lot of like Target stuff, a lot of stuff from like Ross and like those discount areas. So you know, if you get a big bulk of it, you can definitely sell it off for, you know, $4 to $5 a piece, and you'll make your money back if you get, you know, if you get enough of it. But it's definitely a more challenging category, in my opinion. I know people that do sell sterling, Native American, Mexican jewelry, and you know, most of it's worth, you know, what's, you know, is worth what the silver is worth, what the silver that is used to make it with. But so, you know, you put a designer's name on it, and then all of a sudden, you know, value shoots up a couple $100. So challenging to get into, but if you buy it cheap in bulk, you can definitely, I would recommend jewelry if you can buy it. It's easy to ship, easy to package. This thing's going to go in a tiny little mailer here. Look at this little guy. This one I actually got on Amazon. Uline, it was more expensive. However, I had to buy this baby blue color, so which I don't care so much about the color of the package. Something like this, you know, it's all metal and magnet, so I don't need to wrap it or anything. It's got bubble wrap here, so which will be good. If I was doing maybe some earrings or something, I might wrap it in a quick little bubble wrap really quick, and then before I put it in there. If I'm selling something kind of expensive, you know, I'll do a little bit more, you know, wrapping, more care for the product before I ship it out. But definitely look out for jewelry. It's you know, especially like this vintage stuff. It's pretty cool, and I might have kept for myself, but this stretchy one always pinches my skin or my hair, and it's annoying. So, which is why I didn't keep it. But keep your eye out for it, especially watches and stuff. You know, if you get them for the right price, you know, and you'll be able to make some good profit on it, then by all means, jump in and get to it. Easy to ship. This is less than 2 pounds, so a little first class mailer. I think what it is, 3 ounces. Once you get to 3 ounces or above 3 ounces for first class, and everything's changing. I probably shouldn't even say anything until the whole change happens with the shipping costs, because what I'm going to say now is going to be irrelevant in a few days. So we'll leave it at easy to ship, easy to pack, minimal cost for shipping towards the buyer. Here's another really good item to source and ship out. Prices can be a little high on these depending upon where you're sourcing from, but this is a Dooney and Burke. I believe this is called like picnic basket purse, or just picnic purse, but really nice, just like a little multi-panel kind of plaid-ish design. It was very clean, and again, something that's not necessarily going to get broken in shipping. Some purses, I do have like a Vera Bradley I'm going to be shipping out soon. That one can go in a poly mailer. Those are all just little cotton, usually very flat purses, and that can easily go inside a poly mailer and just ship it off. This one here, has a little more shape to it. I didn't want to like scrunch it down into a little box. This one sold for $29, and we picked this one up for just over $6. It was $6, and I have to double check my numbers here, but I believe $6.59, right around there. So quick little score here on the purse to get this shipped out. It was nice and clean. Purses, especially designer purses, can be quite difficult to like if you want to authenticate it and all that. This is definitely a Dooney and Burke. I've dealt with enough purses to have a good idea as far as authentication goes. I've sourced some pretty high-end purses, even more high-end than like Coach and Kate Spade, which I find a lot of around here. But be careful when you are sourcing purses. If you're sourcing name brand purses, or designer purses, I should say, it can be pretty tricky. Like, those fakes are pretty good. If you know what you're doing, the more you look at them, the more you source them, the more you go to the store and just look at them and feel them, you can really get a sense of the quality that like a nice real Coach purse has. Although I wouldn't really recommend picking up Coach, because prices on Coaches are really not very good. And sourcing them, everybody that has a Coach purse, they want, no matter where you're going, whether it's a Goodwill or to a flea market or to a garage sale, people know the name Coach, and once they see Coach, they automatically start pricing things up. Or Dooney and Burke, everyone knows Dooney and Burke, so they start pricing them. Michael Kors, people start pricing them up. You can kind of try to look for the more obscure brands, but like the major ones, people know what they have, and usually you're not going to get a good buying cost on that. So I usually tend to stay away from them, but on the occasion they do pop up. And I've gotten some vintage Coach purses, which the vintage stuff, I tend to, sometimes I'll find them for a good, between $5 to $10 for a Coach. And if it's vintage, it'll go for a little bit more, just because it's an older style. Especially if it's just I've sold a plain leather Coach. It was probably about 30 years old or so. And I got that for $15, and that one sold for $80. So definitely a tougher, like kind of like trying to find dealing in high-end jewelry, designer jewelry, and stuff like that. It is tougher to really find those. I shouldn't say it's tougher to find them, because usually the designer name is splattered all over the purse. But it's tougher to know what is real and what is not real. So very easy to get fooled, and so be careful out there. Get to know your purses. Go to designer store. Go to Macy's. Go to Nordstrom. You know, check these persons out. You know, make sure you look over the stitching. The stitching will be, you know, the number one telltale sign of whether it's fake or real. So get to know what the stitching looks like on a real purse, real legit purse, and then, you know, then you can look at the different patterns, and you can look at the, you know, the leather, and, you know, when you hold a legitimate, you know, high-end designer purse, you're, if you've held a lot of fakes, you're gonna know what the legitimate one feels like, and its weight, and just the leather and the stitching on it. So, but they are easy to deal with when it comes to shipping. No packaging material. No, just throw that one. I threw in a box just because it had like a little more of a shape to it. But ones like Vera Bradley, or, you know, just like little cross bodies, you know, they just go in a poly mailer and boom, send them off. No breakage to worry about. Doesn't even jiggling around. It doesn't really. You don't got to worry about that. So I'm gonna get a label for that and get that one off. Okay, I wanted to show you guys this. This will be a quick and easy ship here. Brand new baseball. The reason I want to show you, because I think a video or two ago I purchased a couple of baseballs, and they were an Oakland A's and a Giants baseball. And I was telling you about picking up baseballs and what you should be picking up when it comes to those. And this is one of them. This is a brand new Major League Baseball. This one sold for $22. It's a Rawlings, and this is official. This is what you're gonna look for. Official Major League. This one has the old commissioner, Alan H. Seeley, or Bud Seeley. And the other balls, I believe, have the same name on it too. But this is an official Major League Baseball used in Major League Baseball. Now, I mean, this ball wasn't used in there, but it's one you would buy to either, you know, have for yourself, or get it signed. Usually a lot of people will buy these and just have them signed. You can go down to the park and have, if you get there early enough, usually for batting practice, sometimes the players will come down and sign. We used to do that a lot. But if you see these out there, you know, try to get them for, you know, under $5, and they will sell pretty quickly. Brand new. If they're used, yeah, they're still a great pickup, but I would get them for $1 or $2 if they are used. And hopefully you can find a bunch of them, because then you can sell them in a big old lot, and that would be quite a nice profit if you get them for $1 or $2. But I'm just going to wrap this in some, just quickly wrap it in a bubble wrap, and throw this in a bubble mailer. Like, actually, let me just show you really quick. I have to go grab another bubble mailer, but this is going north of me up to Washington. So we're just going to take this right here. It's kind of small for a 6x6. If it was a little bit bigger, I would probably use a 6x6, but it's pretty small, and it's not going very far. It's not a very breakable item. Yeah, the case already has some damage to it, so which is why I think I went for lower. It probably would have went a bit higher if it was a nice pristine packaging for the ball. Probably would have gone more like for $25. But I mean, if you go in stores, I mean, they cost about $30 in stores or so. I don't remember. I haven't actually purchased a Major League Baseball in a while. I used to be into the whole, way back in the day, like back, you know, talking over 20 years ago. I started collecting, reselling. I started collecting first, baseball cards, and then we got into the whole reselling and going to shows, selling, and eBay was coming around. eBay was very popular at that time, so that became another platform to buy and sell on. And the other thing too is memorabilia. We would be at shows, or we would be going to local signings. We found out someone was signing, you know, at a store here, or they were signing at or we go to the game, you know, whenever, you know, there's someone in town or a team in town. You know, we would go. We had San Francisco Giants. We have San Francisco Giants and the Oakland A's in our area, and so like if the Giants were playing, you know, like the New York Mets, be like, all right, let's get our, you know, get the balls. We'll go out there to the park, get there early, see if we get some Met signatures, and then, you know, for the Oakland A's, they're in the American League, so then we, you know, anytime an American League team would come, Obviously we were able to get plenty of Giants and A's just because they're a local team to us, and they did a lot of local signings, local shows. But the other teams were a bit harder, and usually the other players from other teams were a bit harder. So usually you have to wait till they visit, and we would get balls, get major league balls, or jerseys. We've done the jerseys, we've done bats, shoes. We go pick them up, and then we show up to where they're signing, or show up early at a baseball game, get them signed. Then obviously you have to go through the authentication process and all that. The authentication process, when we were doing it, was fairly new, as far as like PSA and Beckett grading and all that stuff. So sometimes we sold stuff just with a picture. You would take a picture. You would take a picture of the person signing your item, or take a picture with you and the person. If you're at a ball game ahead of time and someone's signing there, you have your buddy or somebody quickly take a picture of the guy signing your ball or whatever, and that would be your authentication. And then later on, we at PSA and places would be at shows, and they would have the players there signing, and then they would automatically you can get the authentication sticker placed on your item right there, right when they signed it. So that's how I kind of got my start. Was in sports cards and stuff, primarily baseball, and we did football and basketball as well too, but primarily baseball stuff. And but that's what I started doing, how I started, and how I started on eBay doing cards. So all right, I'm gonna get this weighed out. This is under a pound, so I gotta go grab a poly mailer for that and get that on its way. Next item up here, an Apple keyboard, a full-size Apple keyboard. It is a wired one, and nice keyboard. It's always nice to have a nice wired keyboard. I always find it convenient to have a wired and wireless just in case, or wired just in case as a backup. But it's nice, just clean Apple keyboard. This will be easy to ship. This is going to go in a bubble mailer. Picked this one up for $3.59 at a Goodwill. I was kind of shocked because usually they price anything Apple up higher. But one of the Goodwills I go to in my area, they really do price things to move. And I do know the manager there, and he says he just wants, his store is one of the higher performing stores, from what I've been told, in the area. And so he likes to be that higher performing store. Obviously, it looks good if your store is constantly making money, and they're always making money because all their product is for free. Most of their product is for free. But people are in there shopping, and he doesn't like to hold on to things very much. His shelves always seem fresh and new, and he prices things well. I mean, he gets things out the door. This keyboard could, it's not like a modern keyboard or anything. It's not like a clicky keyboard. So if they were to price it up around 10, 15, 12, it might take a while to sell. I saw this for $3.59. Immediately, I just snapped it right up. Sold it for $15 on eBay, and easy to ship. It's very, it's aluminum. It's very rigid, so it's nice. A nice product to just quickly wrap and get out the door. So I'm gonna put in this extra large. This is the extra large one I carry. I think I've featured this before. Good size. That's about like 20 inches, by about 15 or 16 inches there. So good one to keep on hand just in case. Now in this, I'm gonna put the keyboard in there, and I've shipped keyboards, this full-size keyboard before. So what I'm gonna do is rip that off and fold that over. Then we're gonna fold this over one more time just to make it a nice, slim package for the postal service. Don't be afraid to adjust your sizes of your packages, be it a something easy like this, or like a box, or if you got to put two boxes together, you know, put two boxes together to make something fit. I really don't like putting two boxes together, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. I prefer to have the right size of box. Obviously, another box adds to the overall weight, so you do have to take that into consideration if you are combining boxes, which is why I don't really like to do it. But sometimes you got to put two poly mailers together. You know, obviously, again, adds weight, adds cost, adds shipping costs. But sometimes, like I said, you got to do what you got to do. Make sure you account for those costs. One more thing here. Make sure you account for all those costs when you're calculating how much it's going to cost you to ship that item out to the customer. So, but that is yeah, usually my keyboards, I think I've featured them in a video before. I'll put my keyboards in long boxes. But this one here is just slim and you know, pretty sturdy. It's not going to, no damage is going to come to it. So, I think the video kind of got long enough. I don't think I have anything else coming up here that that will be of any value. I mean, everything else I'm going to be shipping out will be going to poly mailers. I mean, or bubble mailers, I should say, not bubble mailers. So I'm going to quickly rush, get the rest of these packages packaged up so I can get them out early in the morning. But, yeah, let me know if you guys learned anything, and if you guys have any comments. Let me know your guys's, you know, what you guys do as far as shipping and, you know, accounting for all those costs, and how much you guys are getting stuff for, where you guys are located. I was just in Reno for a little bit, and the prices on items over there seem to be pretty comparable to here where I live. So otherwise, I hope you guys liked the video. Leave a comment, thumbs up, and we'll see you guys next time.